Today is International Education Day.
So we thought we'd take a little time to talk to one of the thousands of teachers who help educate so many of our children. Billy Green isn't just any teacher, though. He is New York's reigning Teacher of the Year, as selected by the State Board of Regents. And Billy currently teaches chemistry at A. Philip Randolph High School in West Harlem, and he has an amazing personal story. So please welcome to the Pixar Morning News with quite the energy level this morning, Billy Green. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, Pix 11, and good morning, New York.
Oh my gosh, that is energy.
Love
okay.
you, Billy, man.
So what does it mean?
Thank you.
What's it mean? I guess first and foremost, to be recognized, right, as Teacher of the Year among the thousands and thousands of teachers that are out there.
Yeah, so this award is an honor from New York State Education Department, and there's over 600,000 plus teachers in New York State. So as New York State Teacher of the Year, I had to go through a very rigorous 5-tier process of essays, nominations, interviews, and classroom observations, as well as different things in terms of my teaching and test scores and so forth. After that process, I came up on top, and but this is a journey, like I said, that has started probably at 3 years old.
Yeah,
I've always known I wanted to teach.
But it didn't come easy, right? You faced a lot of challenges as a kid. You dealt with being homeless, a parent who battled drug addiction. What part of school and education played a part in your youth to bring you where you are today?
Well, you know, homelessness and drug addiction were just parts of our community, right? Unfortunately, I grew up in the crack era of New York, and now I grew up in a heroin era of New York. Right? And these things are things that are drugs are coming into our school systems, right? And these are the things that I use, just the hardships in growing up to then help my students in their everyday life. You know, part of my teaching is also being responsive to the things that are happening within their urban environment.
Right. Yeah, and when that's a perfect segue to the next question, right? Because you've been quoted as saying you teach chemistry and math and sprinkle in some of what you call social justice, right? So, right, sprinkle it in. So how do you kind of incorporate that, especially into like math lessons?
So most interesting, I just got a fellowship, the Auschwitz Fellowship. So I will be in Poland studying this summer.
Wow.
Part of this journey is always being a lifelong learner. So I always look for parts in my curriculum that I can tie to culture or things that have been in his history that we need to correct in the sciences. So a perfect example of what it means to incorporate culture into my classroom, right? Nazi Germany used gas chambers to cause genocide on people. I wrote a curriculum where we study those gases so that my students never make the mistake again as scientists to go and cause mass genocide with people. If we don't study our content in context, then the students fail to recognize when there becomes a problem or when they're using their subject like science for danger. And one of the things I want to make sure my students have is that they are science literate and that they will go out into the world and know when someone is trying to make them use their science for evil.
Wow. You know what I also love about the way that you teach, Billy, is that it's also about inclusivity. And I'm curious to know what you think it is, how important you think it is for students of color to feel connected to science.
Yeah. So this is a big issue. Students of color, BIPOC people, are underrepresented in the sciences. And as you know, I wear multiple layers and multiple intersections. So when I teach in urban settings, I have a melting pot of students coming in. I deal with the migrant students that are recently coming in. I deal with immigrant students that are already here in the United States. I also deal with any transfer as a high school teacher that comes into the classroom because we have an influx of students that just walk in. These things, right, compile then and is what I have to do in the classroom. I have to deal with all of this, and I become an emergency room teacher, as I like to call it. I'm just ready to triage, inject hope and love and energy into my students and say, listen, come here. No matter what your issue is, Billy Green and A. Philip Randolph community can teach you.
Oh my gosh, Billy Green, there's no wonder you're the State Teacher of the Year, right? You're kind of revolutionizing the whole idea of what teaching is and the philosophy and what you're bringing into the classroom. So So you are certainly bringing a whole lot into the classroom. What is maybe the most important thing that you hope your students take with them once they leave your class and go on to the next stage?
Confidence, right? One of the things I love that one of my students wrote me a letter. I just had my birthday the other day.
Happy birthday.
And one of the lessons, right? They have a party. They have a birthday card where they have ionic compounds. Each of them are an ion, a cation, and an anion. And they go through my birthday party and meet each other and create compounds. And in this letter, you know, they always talk about thank you for letting us know that science and learning can be fun. I think that I love to spark the joy in learning and ignite that fire, that all you have to do is ask a question and that becomes the learning process. As long as learning is generative and it really is a two-way street, I think that all my students will be prepared for the world and they will be ready.
Well, Billy, you make me want to go back to high school and take your class because you are amazing and I love your energy. So thanks again for being with us. Billy Green, New York State's Teacher of the Year.
Congratulations.
We appreciate all your time. Keep up the
Well,
great
thank
work.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got
and
it.
Keep up the great work too, Dan and Hazel.
Oh, thank
We
you
need
very
your
much.
energy in the morning. You're the reason why I'm hype in the morning.
We're trying. We're trying. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, Billy, thank you so much. Really appreciate you.